Most people assume installing solar power is complicated, expensive, and something only professionals can do. The truth is, thousands of homeowners and tiny house owners install their own solar systems every single year. With the right planning and basic electric knowledge, a do it yourself solar setup is completely achievable. And once it's running, it can provide decades of reliable power with very little maintenance. So before buying a single solar panel, the first step is understanding your power needs. Solar systems are built around energy consumption. If you don't know how much electricity you actually use, it's impossible to design the right system. Start by calculating your daily power usage. Every appliance has a watt rating, which tells you how much electricity it consumes. Multiply the wattage by the number of hours you use the device each day. That gives you watt hours. Add all those numbers together, and you'll know roughly how much electricity your home or tiny house needs per day. For example, a small refrigerator might use around 100 watts while running and operate about 8 hours per day, totaling roughly 800 watt hours. A laptop might use 60 watts for 4 hours, totaling 240 watt hours. Lights, fans, water pumps, phone chargers, and other appliances all add to that total as well. And when you finish the calculation, many tiny houses fall somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 watt hours per day. A typical full size home might use much more, but efficient homes with careful energy habits can still operate well on modest systems. And once you know your daily power consumption, the next step is determining how many solar panels you need. Solar panels produce energy based on sunlight hours, and in many parts of the United States, a reasonable average is about 5 peak sun hours per day. If your home uses 3,000 watt hours daily, you divide that by 5 sunlight hours. That means you need about 600 watts of solar production to cover that usage under ideal conditions. However, real systems always include extra capacity to account for cloudy days and system losses, and many installers add about 20 to 30% extra capacity for reliability. That means a system designed to produce around 800 watts might comfortably support that 3,000 watt hour daily usage. And next comes one of the most important components: batteries. Solar panels only generate electricity when the sun is shining. Batteries store that energy so it can be used at night or during cloudy weather. The size of your battery bank determines how long your system can operate without sunlight. If you use 3,000 watt hours per day, a battery bank storing 6,000 watt hours gives you roughly 2 days of backup power without the sunlight. And some people build large reserves for additional security, especially in areas with frequent storms or winter cloud overs. And lithium batteries have become the most popular option for modern solar systems because they last longer, they require less maintenance, they can safely discharge deeper than traditional lead acid batteries, although they cost more upfront, and more people find they provide better long term value, though. And after batteries, the next essential component is the inverter. Solar panels and batteries produce direct current electricity, also known as DC power. And most household appliances use alternating current or AC power, and the inverter converts DC electricity from your solar system into AC electricity that your appliances can use. Inverters are rated by wattage and capacity. If your home might run multiple appliances at once, the inverter must be capable of handling that peak load. And for example, if your refrigerator or microwave and several lights might run simultaneously, the inverter must be able to supply that combined power safely. And another key component is the solar charge controller. This device regulates electricity flowing from the solar panels into the batteries. Without a charge controller, the panel could overcharge the batteries and damage them. And most modern systems use MPPT charge controllers, which are highly efficient and able to extract more energy from solar panels than older controller designs. And then let's talk a little bit about the physical installation. Solar panels are typically mounted on rooftops or ground mounted racks. Rooftop systems have space to keep panels safely elevated, but ground mounts can sometimes provide easier access for maintenance and better panel angles. When installing rooftop panels, you'll attach mounting brackets directly to the roof structure using lag bolts that anchor into rafters or trusses. Flashing and sealant are used to Ensure the roof remains waterproof around those attachment points. And once the mounts are secure, aluminum rails are attached and the solar panels are clamped to those rails. Panels are wired together in either series or parallel, depending on the voltage requirements of your system. Series wiring increases voltage, while parallel wiring increases the current, and the specific configuration depends on the charge controller and the inverter design. The short story highlights how manageable this process can be. A tiny house builder decided to install a solar instead of paying for a grid connection and would have cost nearly $10,000 due to the distance from the nearest utility pole. Over one weekend, the builder and a friend mounted 6 panels on the roof, ran wiring through the wall and into the electrical cabinet, and connected the system to a battery bank and an inverter. The entire system cost less than half the grid connection quote and provided complete energy independence. That's the kind of scenario where do-it-yourself solar makes incredible sense. Wiring safety is extremely important during installation, though. And solar systems operate at significant voltages, especially when panels are wired in series, and proper breakers, disconnect switches, anti-fuses should always be installed to protect the system. A solar disconnect allows you to shut off power from the panels when maintenance is required, and battery disconnects allow safe service of the electrical components. These safety features are standard in professionally installed systems. It should always be included in your do it yourself setups as well. Grounding is another critical step. Solar panels, mounting systems, and electrical components should all be properly grounded to protect against lightning strikes and electrical faults. And once the wiring is complete, the final step is system testing. Turn on the charge controller first, allow it to detect the battery bank, then activate the solar input so the controller can begin charging the batteries. And finally, power on the inverter to begin supplying electricity to the home. And at this point, sunlight should begin producing energy and charging the batteries automatically. And most modern charge controllers and inverters include monitoring screens or smartphone apps that allow you to track production, battery levels, and energy usage in real time. And seeing your system produce its first watts of electricity is a pretty incredible moment, too. Power that once required a massive utility infrastructure is now coming directly from sunlight hitting your roof. Maintenance for solar system is surprisingly minimal too. Panels may need occasional cleaning if dust or debris builds up, but rain usually handles this naturally in many climates. And electrical connections should be inspected periodically to ensure everything remains tight and corrosion free. Quality solar panels often carry warranties of 25 years or more. Inverters may need replaced after a decade or so, but the core system can provide reliable power for decades with basic upkeep. Another benefit of solar is scalability. You don't have to build the entire system all at once. Some people start with a system designed to power basic appliances and expand later as their needs grow. An additional panel or batteries later is often straightforward if the system is designed with expansion in mind. And solar panels it has become dramatically more accessible over the past decade. Equipment costs have fallen, efficiency has improved, and information about do-it-yourself installations is widely available. And for tiny house off-grid cabins or anyone interested in energy independence, installing your own solar system can be one of the most rewarding projects you ever complete because once it's finished, every sunrise quietly brings you a new supply of power. Thanks for watching. Check out this video on the right if you enjoyed today's video and like and subscribe. I would highly like to see you join in here on the channel, and a subscription is definitely a must if you want us to continue being here and continue growing. Thanks for watching. We'll check you on the next one.